just wow. Okay, don't make fun of this hair, okay? I'm sorry about this, but just please, I'm sorry. I got a haircut too early, okay? I'm sorry. But anyway, let's talk about the movie real quick. So, after 4 years really, we the fans got the Avengers. Does this movie, after 7 years, still hold up? Yes, it does, and I'm going to explain why. So what's the plot of the movie? Well, it's basically Loki's trying to impress Thanos by opening a portal to Manhattan so that Thanos can come in and like destroy everything and rule all and pretty much like wipe out half the universe since Infinity War came out. Also, they need Shield against a group of superheroes titled the Avengers to try and stop him. They, of course, have their differences, but they ultimately overcome that to fight Loki in the end. What doesn't work about this movie? I adore and I love the Avengers. This is one of my favorite superhero movies and one of my favorite movies of all time. I just love this movie. The only thing that isn't very good to me is like the opening scene. But other than that, that's just okay. That's a good scene. But the rest is amazing in my opinion. I love the stuff on the helicarrier. Seeing these characters that I have grown to love is amazing. Also, they decided to replace Edward Norton for Mark Ruffalo, and I thought that was a really good change. I think Mark Ruffalo does a really good job of trying to balance the Hulk, and this is really well done in his first scene where he's introduced with Black Widow. He's really good in my opinion, and you feel like he's sort of like this ticking time bomb. Heck, I like this one moment where he's on the helicarrier and he's like walking around like, ugh, what's going on? What's going on? He's basically walking all weirdly because he thinks that he might accidentally like walk into something and become the Hulk. That's a nice touch that I didn't notice when I first saw this movie. Also, when I was younger, this was one of the movies I would always watch in my mom's car. Like, seriously, this is probably a movie I almost have beat for beat memorized. I just adore this movie to bits and pieces. The characters all work in my opinion. Seriously, I think all of them are really likable. Well, Hawkeye, he's okay, but don't worry, we'll talk about him more when he's developed in Avengers 2. You know, I love the action. I love the moments where like the characters are just like fighting. In fact, there's even some like Civil War things that are going on. There's Civil War, lead up where Cap and Tony are like, "Oh, you want to fight? Yeah, let's fight. Let's go 1v1. Let's go right now." That's actually some pretty good foreshadowing for Civil War. Hey, look, it's what what Man of Steel should have done for Batman vs Superman. God, Batman vs Superman was disappointing after Man of Steel, since I like Man of Steel, but still. Then there's the villain, Loki. Now, here's a fun fact for y'all. Loki was actually going to be the villain, was only going to be the villain for the first Thor movie. He was just going to be the villain for the first Thor movie, and we would never see him again. But the fans loved him so much that they decided to, hey, let's bring him back in here, you know? We got the fangirls. They probably love him. And we did, Josh. We did. Personally, one thing I really love about this movie is that when you think that they're doing the whole, team shot where they're all together, you think, oh man, the action's about to get over. Nope. It's just begun, and it is glorious. Seriously, the entire Battle of New York is just amazing. Every character gets to use their special ability, and it is so good in my opinion. This is one of the most awesome moments in movie history, is when where Bruce turns into the Hulk and destroys a giant earthworm. That is amazing. Wait, let's talk about Stanley cameo real quick. I forgot to talk about this in First Avenger, so I'm really sorry. But here's the thing. In First Avenger, Captain America was trying to get like a Medal of Honor from the president, but he didn't show up, and Stanley was all like this. I thought he'd be taller. And of course, in this movie, he's all like this, superheroes in New York? What are you talking about? Well, after it was revealed that, sorry about that, there was something in my throat. No disrespect to Stanley, he's awesome. After it was revealed that he was a spy of the Watcher, you're just like, oh my god, he's like pretending to not know there's superheroes in New York. That is awesome. Now, there's a plot hole in this movie. Why wasn't Rhodey in this movie? Though, to be fair, Rhodey was probably just doing some government stuff. Who cares? Also, I do think the movie does work it still holds up. The action is phenomenal. And every time I watch this movie, I get amazed by it. I just love it. Thor has some good interactions with Cap and Tony, as usual. And it just all works, in my opinion. Then there's Phil Coulson. I'm not gonna lie, I was actually surprised that they had the nerve, the guts to kill off a big character like him. That was actually a pretty big touch for him. And then, of course, there's Samuel Jackson in this movie. Oh man, he was awesome. Unfortunately, he doesn't say his catchphrase, the F-bomb. Seriously, you have Samuel L. Jackson, and you don't give him the one chance to say the F-bomb, Marvel. Why not? You could have just saved the only F-bomb in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for him. You let Shuri give the middle finger to Black Panther, and you let Chris Pratt give the middle finger to Thanos, but you won't let Samuel L. Jackson, the king of saying that word, you won't let him do that. That's bullcrap. Also, then there's the post-credit scene, where we got to see Thanos, the Mad Titan. And I'm glad that they didn't have him be the main villain in Avengers 2, since, think about it. We just had the characters' first cinematic, they just had their first meetup. Imagine how weird it would be if they had their first team up, then immediately going to take on Thanos. That would be kind of awkward, right? Think about it. That would be like having, like, a 5-year-old who just played his first baseball game, and then immediately have him play with, like, all-star, baseball players. That'd be kind of weird, right? Yeah. Seriously, what were they else doing in Avengers 3? Fight air? Really stupid. But seriously, this movie just works, in my opinion. I can't stress enough how much I adore this movie. The action is phenomenal, the characters and the writing is really good, and of course, that score. Bum, 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 bum. I'm sorry I can't do it, but still, it was just so good. I love this movie. Josh Whedon, you did a fantastic job in this movie. And too bad this movie, Justice League, decided to copy off of Marvel. Seriously. So, join me next time as we take a look at Iron Man 3. The movie that was probably the first movie probably the first MCU movie I saw in the cinema. But I still love it. So, see you all later, and bye. Have a good day. I'm sorry about this, guys. I'm really sorry I didn't bring this up, but I like this one moment where the introduction scenes are all really well done, in my opinion. Each character's introduction makes you feel like, oh yeah, this is the character. Like, for example, Steve is like beating up this punching bag while having flashbacks to when he woke up after his plane crashed. Tony and Pepper are kind of celebrating Stark Tower. And of course, Black Widow is like pretending to be interrogated while she's actually interrogating the people, which is kind of clever foreshadowing to when later in the movie, when Loki is like, when she's trying to give, interrogation tactics to Loki, so that way she can get information out of him. That's actually kind of clever foreshadowing. And also, my favorite is probably also I love Thor's introduction since it's just out of nowhere. He just like comes in like this, bring me Loki and no harm will come to you. And the scene where like he's like this, brother, please, and then he gets thrown away and Loki's like, I'm listening, is really well done. Seriously, Tom Hiddleston just steals the show as Loki. He's just phenomenal. And of course, there's Hawkeye doesn't get an introduction scene since he's captured, but still, I still love this movie. And I'm sorry I didn't give this movie a rating, but my honest ranking for Avengers is a solid S rank. Yes, this movie gets an S rank. For a 10 out of 10. So join me next time as we take a look at Iron Man 3. See y'all later, and bye.